What's up, Gators? This is David Hayder, and welcome back to another favorite indie game of the week. This is a brand new weekly series that I started up in which I talk about an awesome indie game that I have discovered and tell you guys why this game is worth checking out. So today, I want to introduce you guys to a game called Baldric's Quest. If you don't know what this game is about, Baldric's Quest is a fast-paced hack-and-slash arcade game. You play as Baldric, a young warrior who sets sail toward Worm Island to stop an evil wizard who has trapped the season of winter to use for his wicked magic. Now the whole kingdom is suffering from an endless summer. In true arcade gaming fashion, the gameplay consists of you controlling Baldric as he runs towards the end of a level under a time limit. Along the way, you will be expected to hit, jump over, and avoid indestructible objects, breakable objects, and monsters. Hitting breakable objects will give you points towards your high score, and hitting monsters will help you gain a couple of seconds towards the amount of time that is left in the level. Once you've managed to reach the end of the level without tearing your hair out and losing all your sanity, you will finally encounter the boss of that level, whom you must defeat in order to unlock the next levels in the game. As you're running in these levels, you will also notice that there are items that you can pick up along the way that may either help you beat the level, such as hearts, or items that will help increase your high score, such as diamonds. Not to mention that in each level of this game, you can pick up special looking items that may be new weapons or equipment that you can use to make the levels easier to beat. But if you want to use these new items or equipment, you must first earn enough coins to buy these items at the item shop in the world map called the Bazaar. Unfortunately, the money that you collected from constantly dying is not saved until you beat the level. So if you need an easier way to earn some coin, there are also mini games that you can play, such as rescuing a town from monsters or fishing, that can be accessed in the world map. So one thing that I like about this game is that although the gameplay is very simple and the controls are easy to learn, actually trying to successfully beat a level may prove difficult for the careless and impatient. At times, I often found myself getting so frustrated at my own mistakes that it made it difficult for me to concentrate on playing the game well, which in turn made me make even more mistakes. You basically have to either make a near perfect run in order to beat a level in this game, or be really good at not losing your hearts due to careless mistakes. Although this can be a very difficult game to play for people who get easily frustrated, or for those of you who don't usually play these types of games, I personally enjoy the challenge of trying to constantly beat each level to near perfection. Plus, every time I die because of a stupid mistake I made, I found myself wanting to try to beat the level again and again in order to try and make up for it. So this is definitely a game that could get very addicting to play, kind of like a lot of popular mobile games such as Flappy Bird or Angry Birds. And with that said, this is also a game that I could definitely see myself playing on my phone when I'm bored. Unfortunately, it's only currently available for Macs and Windows at this time, but I seriously think the developers should consider making a port towards the mobile market. I truly believe that this game could be a hit once they configure the control schemes to the mobile formats. And as much as I do like this game, I did notice from the beginning that this is a game that is definitely not friendly towards players who are not familiar with playing these types of games. And what I mean by that is there is no game difficulty that you can lower if you're finding the game too difficult to beat. And there are no tutorials to help you figure out how to play the game, navigate the game, or beat the levels in this game, unless you count the readme file and reconfiguring the controller scheme as a tutorial. I also think that this game could have benefited from an online mode where you could see the overall high score from players all over the world. Currently, you can only see your own high scores, which is fine for players who enjoy trying to beat their own scores, but I think that this game could have so much more replayability if players could be able to see other players' scores as well. Adding this component would most certainly capture the nostalgic hearts of old school arcade gamers who love to beat other players' high scores and be on top of the leaderboard. I also think that this game could have benefited from more game modes as well. Currently, there is only a story mode that can be played, which is fine because I think this mode is great, but again, this game could have so much more replayability if this game had an online component combined with other game modes that players can go check out once they have finished playing the story of this game. And if there is one major problem that I did have with this game, is that it would have been nice if the developers had included a mini tutorial or an NPC guide that will help you navigate how to play the game and beat the levels. When I played this game for the first time, I personally had a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to beat the levels until I asked the developers for their help. I feel like adding this feature would definitely help a lot of players who are interested in playing this game but are not experienced at playing arcade games. So even though the game was a bit frustrating in the beginning for me because it wasn't beginner friendly, I did have a lot of fun once I understood how to beat the levels. So if you are going to buy this game, just know that this game may be a bit frustrating to play if you're a beginner, since there are no tutorials for those of you who are not familiar or experienced with the mechanics of arcade games. Overall, if you enjoy playing arcade games and you want to find a game that you can play quickly in your spare time, then dropping $5 on this game would not be a waste of your time. Or, if you're looking for a fast-paced game that will challenge your skills and reflexes, then I believe that you'll get your money's worth if you decide to buy this game. And if you guys want to play this game for yourselves, there will be links in the description below that will lead to where you can buy and download this game. So now that I've talked about why this is my favorite indie game of the week, I want to know what you guys think of this game. So, if you've played this game before, then let me know what you liked or disliked about this game, and if you guys have any more questions about this game, then let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them as quickly as possible. Finally, if you've enjoyed this review and you want to see more, then please leave a like to show your support for this new series. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later, Gators.